I'm Brittany, and welcome to Bliss of Brit, the podcast. I've been wanting to start this for a while now. I just didn't know how I wanted it to look, but I'm very grateful and happy that today I had the passion and enthusiasm within me to just get it started. So, hi, I'm Brittany. I'm 22. My birthday is November 10th. I'm a Scorpio. I'm a young entrepreneur. I'm single. I'm a young woman becoming her own. And Bliss of Brit is quite literally just my being, how I try and center bliss in my everyday life, how I face the things, the blessings brought my way every day, just my soul essence, my being, and how I wish to inspire other people to see the beauty all around and within themselves, to choose love, choose joy, choose kindness, and live a blissful life. But yeah, the reason I was so hesitant to just put the camera up and start the podcast in the past is I thought I had to have all these stories ready. I had to know who I was already. I had to be firm in my beliefs and be able to preach my beliefs to everybody who's going to watch it. But the, but I realized it's quite literally the opposite. I can form a beautiful community who watches me grow, and we grow together, because as humans we never stop growing. Every day I can have a belief today and then question it tomorrow, and then in that questioning become more firm in who I am through that. You get what I'm saying? It's like I don't have to know everything right now. I don't have to say that tomorrow I'm going to believe exactly what I said today. I'm allowed to question, I'm allowed to grow. Not even question, but just add depth to my beliefs. I'm allowed to change what I want, change what I like, because we're never ending, never changing. And I'm not going to be scared of being perceived or being wrong or having a version of me out there that I no longer agree with anymore. Because quite literally, in this second, I'm a different person than when I just said second. So I just want to start the podcast, start the conversation, share kindness, share joy, show that you don't have to be perfect. You simply just have to be and embrace your being. So, yeah, that is the Bliss of Brit way. I would say at the root of my pillars and at the root of my beliefs, you'll probably learn as we go deeper into the podcast and different topics. It quite literally is just embracing your being. And while embracing your being, also embracing the being of others. And when I say embracing the being of others, I don't mean you don't have to put the stamp on what they're doing. But what I'm saying is you're allowed to see somebody else doing something that you may not agree with and release it as it are, as they are, as it is, and just move on with your life. It's trusting the plan, trusting the process. I'm giggling because my auntie over at Soul Tribe Media, her focus for October is trusting the plan. So we had a podcast yesterday. I was talking with her and Amani, her daughter, my best friend. We're talking about trusting the plan, trusting the process. And that's why all these ideas are at the top of my head, because that was literally yesterday. But it's quite literally choosing your bliss and trusting that whatever happens, you are safe, you are protected. And if something doesn't align with you, if you see somebody and they don't align with you, trust that divine intuition within you, trust that plan, and know that we're not meant to mesh and mingle. And that's okay. Send them a blessing from afar and just move on. Your life is genuinely about you. And I think as people, our intuitions, our gut feelings, if I see you and I get a ungood feeling within me, there's something I can resolve within myself with that. So you are a beautiful blessing in my life, because I can see something that I don't agree with and learn I don't agree with that. I wonder why. Bing, 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 bing. Or it can just be a beautiful blessing to show yourself that you trust yourself, trust your intuition. You come across somebody you don't agree with. I don't agree with this person in my life. Let me go the other way and show that I'm prioritizing myself, prioritizing my being. And it's coming all from a space of love. Because why should I force someone who doesn't align in my life to be in my life? And why should I be in somebody's life who I don't align with and therefore wasting their time, where somebody could be in their life who can bring something to their life, something beneficial rather than a placeholder? Because that's something I don't think a lot of people realize is when you have these placeholders in your life, you're also a placeholder in their life because you know you're not staying for a long time. You know you're not at peace there. So you're taking away from their growth, simultaneously taking away from your own growth in this just placeholder space. I don't know how we got there in the conversation, but we got there. Yeah. I was talking about trusting the plan and choosing kindness and embracing your being. But yeah, my 3 pillars in life: embrace your being, choose kindness, and choose love. I think that was where we were at. And I guess that whole story was just an example of choosing kindness and love and embracing your being. But yeah, we're listening to the Soul Tribe Jazz Lounge right now. I helped my auntie create it yesterday, and it honestly, I think yesterday is what inspired me to start the podcast today. Because we had a full like Soul Tribe media day. We went over there, we worked on all of our content, we like pitched out ideas. I helped create her live lounge where it's just a jazz lounge. You can go sit and listen to the music play for however long. This one I think was 12 hours long. So you can listen to it while you're working or doing whatever you please. And I think the beauty in it for me was she had an idea and we executed it. And it's a beautiful thing to have an idea in your head and then see it manifest into reality by simple magical actions. Like we sat, we had a plan and we did it. And to be able to like even see it right now, it's like, I did that. We did that. And it just showed me that anything is possible, anything can happen. It's magical that we created this art. And something else you'll learn about me is I'm very, what's the word? Like, la 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 la. I'll put big magical words on things that other people would put bland words on or look across, because I truly believe in gratefulness and being grateful for every moment, every second, everything. The small things are truly big things. Nothing is nothing is truly minuscule, and at the same time everything is minuscule. Like it's this crazy beautiful polarity. And I think when you're truly grateful, more things form in your life to be grateful for. And not even that, when you're grateful, you're happier in the moment. So you're losing nothing from being grateful. So from creating this, I was just very grateful to be able to create something, to see it in my reality. And it was just like a proof in my head of like, you can do anything you wish to do. The ideas you want, you can do it. You don't have to wait for the perfect day. Do it today. Do it now. Just try. Just try. Take a step. You don't have to run a mile. Take a step. And yeah, my auntie, she's just a beautiful inspiration to me. Over this past year or 2 years, or just from growing from a young teenager to an adult, I've not lost, but you realize who's truly meant to be in your life and who's not anymore. And that doesn't mean that they won't come back into your life, but it just means that sometimes you go like this and you could go back this, or you could just keep going like this. But as it is, everything happens for a reason. Only good can manifest. There's purpose in any and everything. And the only times where things have gone awry in my life, like looking back, is when I didn't embrace the moment. Instead, I lived in the future or the past, and I forced my human mind, my human will on my life, rather than waiting, going within, checking in with the divine intuition, the divine guidance within us all, the divine within us all, and saying, is this truly meant for me? And the only times where things I can look back, things I would do differently, are the things where I went crazy. Not crazy, but like I would act fast and act with a mortal mind rather than the divine within, and asking and waiting and being patient and in a state of more meditation rather than fear. So, like I said, some people in my life, family, have drifted from me this past year. We've drifted mutually because that intuition within it tells you who's meant to be in your life now and who's not. You know when you feel cherished and when you don't feel cherished. And it's honest. I said this on Auntie's podcast yesterday. I said, it's such a beautiful blessing for somebody to show you where they belong in your life. And that's not something to take for granted. So I've drifted away from a lot of people. But in that, I've found a beautiful family, and my auntie at Soul Tribe Media. We're not blood related, but I don't know. I truly feel cherished when I'm at her house, when I'm with her family, when I'm with my best friend Amani, her daughter. And it's something that just feels beautifully beautiful. And I don't even know when we came to this conversation. I don't know what my topic was, but we're just talking because this is Bliss of Britt. I just talk. I like to talk, and we'll probably circle back. We'll do some circles. But it's a beautiful thing to feel cherished. It's a beautiful thing to know who your people are. And my auntie being in her soul tribe, meeting people who want more, who don't wish to settle for placeholders, who want people who show up for them the way they show up for them. And yeah, I love my auntie over at Soul Tribe Media. We created this, and yeah. I love her. I adore her. She's an auntie for the community. She gives beautiful insight. She's a beautiful intuitive. She's an inspiration to be around. She is beautiful. And it's magical how the divine is always going to give you what you need, always on time and never too late. Because when the shift was happening, when I was losing a lot of people, I found true family in my auntie. And she's not even my blood auntie, but I call her auntie and I mean it, you know? And that's just a beautiful thing. So, yeah, I was over there, and the way people who love you communicate to you, I think that shows a lot who truly cherishes you. The honesty, the advice. They're not going to look at you and be like, yeah, that's a good idea, when it's obviously not. They're not going to encourage you to go against yourself. They see you and they see where you can go, and they inspire you to see where you can go as well. When you're putting yourself in a box and someone you love can talk to you and say, girl, I could see you doing this. You're not meant for something small. Your life is grand. You're beautiful. You can do this. I see something beautiful for you. And she said that to me, and she constantly, what's the word? Speaks life into me. And it's not vain words. They're not empty. It's truly speaking life into me, speaking life into my dreams, raising the ceiling of my life, because there truly is no ceiling. So beautiful, beautiful blessing of a human. And she spoke some words into me just talking about, Brittany, you could do a podcast. You could do this. There's people out there that can benefit from your voice and benefit from your stories. And that part really stuck, because she said, all the things you've been through, all the tears you've cried, what was the purpose of them if not to tell people and help other people? And I'm not saying that you should take my experience and run to the hills with it. Just because I went through it, you should take it and not do it in your life. But if I tell a story and it hits and you're like, maybe this is what I'm experiencing. Maybe I'm ready to wake up to this in my life and choose better. Because you don't know until you know. Because looking back in the past, I could say, I could be very unkind to the past version of myself, but I have to remember I did not know then what I knew now. Because if I did, I would not do it again. And I can get tested in my life now, and I can do what I wish I did then now and show that I've had growth. But I never know if back then I heard somebody telling me about their experience, how it would touch me. Because, yeah, I don't need you to take my story and run to the hills with it, but if it can light the fire within you to go to your mountaintop, I pray that you do. So I'm going to tell my stories and hopefully add a new perspective to life for you, add something beautiful, add some love to your life, add some joy to your life, add some empathy. Because empathy is a beautiful thing, especially for yourself, especially for the past versions of yourself. I heard something, what was it? It was sin is only what you can't forgive yourself for. That's the only, what is it? The unforgivable sin is the one you can't forgive yourself for. So it's very important to have empathy for yourself. It's very important to understand that there is a child within us all who has been hurt. And if we don't take the time to sit and listen to these tidbits that they give us, because it'll come out. Usually when you're super angry, you're super sad, you'll hear a little whisper. They'll leave a little breadcrumb of, this is how I used to feel. This is and it's enough for you to just go over and be like, I only feel that because of what just happened just now. But everything you've been through, if you don't give it the space to speak about it, to feel it, to release it, it's just bouncing off the walls within you. It's just bouncing in there. And it'll come out whenever you're at your weakest moment, your most vulnerable state. And you'll think it's momentary, but it's not. Like, it's rooted traumas within you that you just haven't had the time to release. So it's important to have empathy with yourself, to listen to yourself. It's like how you get a mood ring and you can look at the ring and we're all very interested in the ring. Like, oh, it's purple. What does this mean? Oh, it's orange. What does this mean? When you feel something, ooh, that's anger. What does this mean? Is it anger or is it disappointment? Why was it disappointment? What just happened? What am I feeling? What does this remind me of? And it's speaking through it to have the power to release it and stand firm in who you are now. Because when you release it, you learn so much about yourself. But when you push it down, you deny yourself the beauty of knowing yourself. You deny yourself the beauty of true bliss. I don't know if y'all can hear Stitch. That's my cat, and he's in the hallways. He's screaming to the rooftops. He said, "Preach, Mom, preach." But yeah, because in the future we can like break down all these topics I'm talking about like further. Right now I'm just word vomiting. You can tell that like my soul has been wanting to podcast because we're just going bing bong boom boom boom. But in the future we'll break down this a lot more, but I'll leave a little bit of tidbits here. But I think my parents got divorced, and crazy segue. I think my parents got divorced when I was like a preteen. And I kind of glossed over it. My mom, I saw her truly mourn the relationship, and I wanted to be the strong one for her. I wanted to help her heal. I wanted to da 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 da. And I kind of just when they got divorced, it was a single mom situation, so I was just with my mom forever. After that, my dad, he went and he met a woman. They had a kid, and it's something that I never truly had a conversation with him about. He kind of went to immediately feeling like a stranger after, in the weirdest possible way. Because I remember when I was young, I adored my father, and I knew he adored me, and I felt like such a loved girl dad. But after that divorce, it was kind of like he was a stranger. And as a child, I never really allowed myself to feel that emotion because I didn't know what the emotion was. So it kind of just seeped inside until I was older. And it turned out that it was this feeling of being unwanted, of seeing my dad leave the family that I thought would be forever. I'm a hopeless romantic. I always saw everything so beautifully, and everybody has the idea of their perfect life. So it's this visual, like, shake up of what I thought perfection was in that moment. And he went and he had a daughter. So as being the youngest daughter to now have another young daughter, it was it was interesting. Back then I didn't let myself feel it, but like as being an adult and having situations come up with partners, like I never knew why. I never truly thought I was enough. And then when I got to the root of it, I realized it started with my dad. It started when he left, and I didn't feel important enough to keep that relationship going. I thought, as a kid, I thought I had to do the work to have a relationship with my father, which was truly unfair because it's my dad, like he should cherish me, he should love me, and it shaped how I pursued relationships. It shaped how I viewed men, and I didn't even know it. It was a subconscious thing because I like I actively thought I was healthy and healed, and I had the good beliefs, but in those times of sadness, it kind of would dwell around that feeling of not being enough, not being cherished, not being wanted. So once I realized this, let me tell you, I cried. I cried. What's the song? I don't know. That was not it. That sounded like a seagull. But anyways, once I realized it and I like talked about it verbally to the divine, to myself, to my friends, to my family, I felt more in my power about it. Like it's crazy, like how much lighter you feel when you shed yourself of things you didn't even know you were carrying. Like, oh, it's like when people cut their hair and they start just like going like, oh wait, what the heck? I didn't know I was carrying hair, you know? Or maybe like when a woman's pregnant and the husband goes behind and he lifts up the belly for her and she's like I forgot what this felt like. And that's what it felt like, and it felt good. And then I was like, you know what? I want to address it with my father. So I went to go see my dad and I asked him to talk and we had a conversation. And I went into the conversation, of course, thinking in my head, like, this can go any way possible. I do not want to be attached to the outcome. The only thing that I'm attached to is myself and loving myself and not allowing myself to be little. Let myself fill up the space, fill up my whole being. Don't shy away. Don't get in the corner. Just honor my truth and be okay with that. And I didn't know if he was capable of understanding, because some people, they can't meet you where you're at. They can't have those conversations. And I'm not even saying that to like, you can't meet me where I'm at. No, I'm not saying it like that. I'm saying some people just aren't on that same wavelength as you, and that's okay. It just means you're not, their time in your life may be time to drift and maybe drift back in the future and drift. But, and that's why I also don't, side note, that's why anytime I'm met with hate, I usually just try and say like as it is and send a blessing, because you never know where somebody's at vibrationally in their life. And you can't assume that they think of things the way you think of things, because their life is their life. Their human experience is amazingly separate and amazingly like common to yours at the same time. So some people just don't align, and that's okay. They're on their own path of growth. I believe the divine is in their life and will work however they're meant to work. Maybe it's not this lifetime, or maybe they're just meant to live a separate life than you. We're all meant to be separate. They can be fully fulfilled on a different vibration as you, but you as your soul expression, the things that you signed up for in this lifetime, show up as you to your highest being, your highest capability. My highest capability may not look visually as their highest capability, but vibrationally, we're both showing up the best that we can and feeling the most fulfilled. Because it truly is like a whole, like, what is it? Like, not, what is it? Like, once you know type thing. Like, once you know, that eating that, once you know, you know. I'm trying to think of like a good like metaphor. Okay. Like imagine everybody's eating apples. You get pulled into the other room and the divine says to you, babe, that apple is what's stopping you from growing. You're no longer going to eat the apple because now you know. And you may think some days like, dang, that apple is really good. I really wish I could just go eat that apple again. But now you have a higher understanding of what it's doing to you, so you can't. But in the room, the people are still eating the apples because they don't know yet. So you can't fault them for not knowing, for not being there yet, because they're meant to be as they are meant to be. And I trust the divine to work in their lives. I'm not going to be the divine in their life. I can say to them, hey y'all, I think this may be stopping you, but I can't force my will in their lives to make them stop eating the apple, because maybe I'm not even meant to do that in their lives. Maybe they're where they're meant to be. I hope that made sense. But anyways, so I went into the conversation being aware that vibrationally he may not be at a space where he can truly accept what I'm saying, but my capability to love and communicate with you does not affect, what is it? Your capability to hear me does not affect my capability to voice myself. I'm going to say what needs to be said. I'm not going to force you to understand what I'm saying, but I'm going to say what needs to be said. And if we can have a beautiful conversation about it, we can. And if we can't, then we can't. So I went into it with that mindset. Of course, back of my mind, the little girl, she wants to be loved and adored by her father, but the higher being within me knows where I'm meant to be. I'm meant to be where I'm meant to be heard. I will be heard. My voice will reach those who are meant to hear it. Anyways, so I went into the conversation and I told him everything. I said, I don't know if we ever had a conversation about the divorce, but this is how I felt. This is this, this is this. And he responded in a way like even more beautiful than I could have ever imagined. And it healed a part of me to be able to speak my truth. And I spoke my truth, and all the fear behind it fell to the ground because I denied the fear and I chose to listen to my intuition and release all that does not serve me. And we had a beautiful conversation, and it's insane what releasing what does not serve you can do. Because that belief within me of being unlovable, unimportant, this, that, not special enough, releasing that vocally to the person that, I don't want to say caused it, but a person who kind of confirmed that belief in my childlike state, who planted that seed in my childhood that continued to grow because I didn't know it was there. So I was unintentionally watering something that I didn't know was there, but it was getting watered and it was growing and it was flourishing in relationships and this and this and that and that. To like have that conversation and to take that plant and just rip it out of the soil and say, nope, I'm special. I am important. I will show up for myself. I will be there for myself. The divine will be there for me. The divine power is within me and is unstoppable, irresistible. I will not deny my divinity. I will not allow fear to live within me anymore. If it's there and it's unhealthy, I'm going to uncover it. I'm going to listen to my intuition. I'm going to listen to my divine intuition on how to heal it. And yeah, it was beautiful. Lately I've just been realizing like the beauty in authenticity, because you can think you're authentic, but to be authentic, you really have to allow yourself to see the things in the past you would throw a blanket over, and not allow yourself to truly see. You'd sugarcoat it, because there's a beauty in like sugarcoating some things, like, or is it? I don't know. What is it? Sugarcoating? I guess it's just being, I don't know. That's a topic for another day. Let me know what you think. But like just being honest with yourself. Like, this made me feel like this made me feel like that. I don't know if I like that feeling. Like, that is a beautiful thing to be able to do, to just look at yourself in an honest way and to accept the divine help in your life to heal the things from your past. To say, I don't know why, but I'm feeling a little bit lonely right now. I don't know why. Maybe it's this, maybe it's that. Call upon the divine in your life to help you to understand it, to help you release it. Say, I may be feeling this right now, but that doesn't mean that it is me. I may be feeling a little sad right now, but it doesn't mean that my whole being is sad. It just means it's a little flag. Like I said, the mood ring. If you see sadness on it, you're like, what caused that? What can I learn from this? What can I release in this? Sadness is a beautiful emotion to use as a catalyst for releasing. I'm grateful for my tears, for they release pain that I don't wish to hold. I'm grateful for when I feel the feeling of loneliness, because it reminds me of the promise of a divine partner. And that doesn't mean to go out and grab the first man I see. It means to be patient, embrace the loneliness in the moment, for I'm alive and I can feel the lonely emotion. For I'm grateful to feel this loneliness because I'm not settling. I'd rather be lonely than to settle and still feel lonely. That's a beautiful topic. We can get into the future. We can get into that one in the future. Because I don't think settling fully cures loneliness. It cures momentary loneliness. That's another beautiful topic. Momentary happiness rather than divine happiness, the divine plan. I'm just very grateful to be creating this right now. We've already touched so many beautiful topics. We're at 30 minutes. You got 30 minutes. You don't know what that means? Anyways. But yeah. I don't even know if I'm going to rewatch this. I might just post it and say, as it is. But it probably would be healthy for me to rewatch it to like see like the things I say and how it hits me when I hear myself saying it. Because that's another beautiful thing, talking to yourself, like hearing yourself say things out loud back to yourself. Like I like saying affirmations to myself, recording them and listening to it. Just the more you allow yourself to be complex, the more beautiful I think your being becomes. The deeper you can understand yourself, the deeper you can get on things. That you can say one thing, then listen to yourself say it, and then one day you may be like, I don't know if I align with that anymore. Like, wow. Or maybe you could be like, what is it? I feel like a lot of the time we'll say things and then immediately forget what we said. And in that, we don't give it enough space to settle and show us beautiful growth opportunities. Because I'll have an idea or I'll say something and it's just like gone with the wind, you know? When really, if I would like sit with that feeling, sit with that wish, sit with that whatever it is, it could take me to this beautiful new thing. And it's funny because usually how it'll happen for me, like at the moment, like as it's divinely meant to happen. Maybe in the future it's divinely meant to hit like more in the moment. But I think the more like you catch on to these nuances, the better you are at like catching them in the moment. Like when you say something and being like, oh, wait, this also could apply to that. Because currently, like I'll say something and then maybe like in a couple days or the next day or later on in the day, I'll be like, oh my gosh, that's what that meant. Or I'll have an experience, a divine experience, a divine occurrence, and I'll meet somebody and they'll say something that like it's interesting. And like in the moment, I'm like, wow, that felt like divine. But then I won't break it down. And then like a week later, I'll be thinking about it and I'll be like, they said that. That was like the divine speaking to me because I just put this and this together and this together and wow. Well, only if I did that a week ago. But I didn't know then what I know now. Empathy, bringing it back 30 minutes ago. But it's just divine occurrences, like the beautiful thread throughout all things. Everything happens for a beautiful reason. And when the more you say that, the more you say there's purpose in everything, beauty is all around and within me, the more like you see these beautiful synchronicities, and the easier you are and the quicker you are to catch on to them, the less aggravated you get. You can be in traffic. I talked about this on my channel, I think a couple months ago, but you can be in traffic and in the past you get road rage. Now you realize, I wonder what the purpose of this is. I wonder what I'm being set up to receive right now. Like, I wonder the blessing in this. Oh, maybe the blessing is as simple as a moment to reflect, a moment to take it slower. Or maybe this is a domino effect to something beautiful coming up in my future. Another thing. Oh, what's the word? I forgot the word. Precursors, y'all. Soul Tribe Media. If y'all know anything about Auntie, she's so good of catching the precursors. She'll catch it. So what a precursor is, it's like you know what, we brought this up on the podcast. So like imagine there's the big perfume bottles and then there's the trial sizes. The blessing that you are divinely meant to receive is the big bottle. It is the beautiful, it's the beautiful bottle. And the little one is the precursor, because you'll see the little one and it's proof that the bigger one exists. It doesn't mean that you need to have it and hold this little bottle for the rest of your life. It's meant to be fleeting. It's not meant to last forever. It's meant to show you, see that thing that I thought aligned with me, it exists and it's true, and I just need to keep doing what I'm doing, or maybe go stronger with it, maybe listen to what your intuition is telling you to do with it, but it's saying, baby, the blessing is coming. You are living in the blessing. This is proof that it exists. Beauty is all around and within you. Love is all around and within you. Your divine partner is coming. The divine job is coming. Your divine success is coming. I just love precursors. It's like that image that they have. I think it's of Jesus, and he has the bouquet of flowers behind him, and he has the one flower. Oh no, the bouquet is behind his back, and there's this little girl, and she's holding this one tiny flower, and he's saying, I don't know the direct quote, but he's basically telling her, you have to let go. I have something better for you. And some people, like the little girl, it takes trust, but it also takes self-awareness. Because I think when we have the little version, or not even the little version, but the momentary version, sometimes that fear-based part of us, it wants to hold on so tight because it's not sure of the promise of better. So it really takes trust, and to know that only good can manifest. Everything is working out for you. And if you would just trust and release this momentary blessing, and trust that the bigger and better is coming in your life, the true one is coming in your life, it's like, I'm trying to think of a beautiful way to put this. I guess it's the bouquet and the flower thing, yeah. It's trusting that, I don't know. It's just trusting that everything is happening for a reason. And it's trusting that feeling within you. Because like I said at the beginning of this, anytime things have gone awry in my life, it's when I didn't trust in the bigger and the better. It's when I would rather have momentary happiness, momentary content, rather than trusting in this bigger, better plan in my life. And the thing is, whenever I'm holding on to that momentary thing in the past, my gut would always tell me, like, something's off here. This isn't it. Why would that happen? That doesn't make sense, you know? But then you would shower it over by brainwashing yourself, gaslighting yourself, or maybe getting gaslighted by your environment as well, and allowing yourself to be gaslit in it instead of trusting that whisper. Because back then it is a whisper of more. Because the more you allow the divine to speak in your life, the louder I think the voice gets. But back then it's pummeled down. Like, you don't want to hear it. It's like, shh, not right now. right now. I'm okay. I got the man. I got the crib. I got the job. I got the da 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 da. But what's meant for you will always find you. And I think if you don't trust, that's when it happens more abruptly, because you don't allow yourself to see more. So when the more tries to move into your life by removing and bringing in and da da da, it like shakes your world because you're so like stuck to the momentary when really bigger and better is meant to come in your life. And if you don't allow it to come swiftly, the evidences of the momentary not being it, I believe they gradually get bigger. At least that's how it usually works in my life in the past. At first, it's stuff that's easy to ignore, and then the things that are easy to ignore get harder to ignore because you're not at homeostasis. It's not it. It's not the divine plan. So that part got a little wordy. I'll be honest. Y'all, I'm new to podcasting. It's my first episode. But basically what I'm saying is trust the divine in your life. Don't allow yourself to settle for something that was meant to be momentary. Don't allow yourself to settle for the flyer when the whole gift was on its way. Don't allow yourself to settle for a word when you got the whole dictionary and it's waiting for you to just release this one little flower. Release the one flower so you can get the bouquet. And I'm not saying this is like an ego thing, like that's my nanny scratching. Like, I don't think it's from an ego place of like, you know what, I deserve a Lamborghini. Let me get rid of this little car because my Lamborghini's on the way. No, I don't mean that. I mean fulfillment. Yes, a fulfilled, happy life. Nani, what are you doing? Nani, you can open the door. Come here. I'm sorry, they got a little loud, but I don't mean like ego. I mean, like I said, a fulfilled, happy, loving life is the promise. So whenever it doesn't feel like love, it doesn't feel like the divine, I can say in my past, in those moments, it wasn't the plan, it was me forcing the plan. Instead of trusting and listening to my intuition, listening when things felt off, to be like, yeah, this is off. This isn't love. This isn't fulfillment. This isn't, I see more for me than this. So, yeah, just trusting that only good can manifest. The dreams you have, they're there for a reason. Knowing that it's okay to change. It's okay to be dynamic. Yeah, it's okay to be dynamic. It's okay to embrace change and to grow and to embrace your being. Your being is dynamic. Allow it to be dynamic. Don't put yourself in a box. Allow yourself to flow. That's another thing. Oh, we're getting into it at the end of the podcast. Like, I started off content creating 5 years ago now, I think, like in 2020 around COVID. Back then I was just doing dances, and then the dances and the Instagram pictures, it turned into the more, I got into like the Insta baddie side of things. And it's funny because when I was young, like that's what I wanted to be. I loved Brittany Renner's content. Like, I liked the Insta baddie vibe. And from getting into that, I got into like exclusive content, all of the blue page type stuff. And I didn't do anything out of my own will back then. Like, I did what I felt aligned to do. Like, I would dance and post like in bikinis and cute lingerie sets, and I would be my sexy, divine, sensual self. And I adored it when I was doing it, but I think I trapped myself in it rather than allowing myself to grow past it when things changed. And when it didn't feel as good anymore, I kind of would brainwash myself as like, no, this is it, girl. This is what we're doing. Like, look, we're doing really good. We're doing good. And instead, and within me, I think I wanted things to change. And I wasn't sure if I aligned with it anymore because it was fun when it was fun. But when it's not fun, it's not fulfilling anymore. And I'm not saying like fun, like everything should be fun. That's not what I mean. I mean, when it was fulfilling, it was fulfilling. And then when it wasn't, it truly wasn't. And it felt like I was truly just going against the divine plan. Like it just felt like it wasn't the plan. Like I felt like there was more for me out there. And a big part of that is my views on sensuality changed. Or not even changed, they just developed. Like I was young when I started that content. I was maybe 18, I think. Like I didn't start off doing the more sexy stuff, like just lingerie, but I just didn't know what I believed. I didn't know the purpose behind it. And as I grew and my relationship with sensuality grew, it truly changed how I wanted to do content. Because when you're on like the online exclusive content type grind, it's kind of expected to be like slightly flirty, like have the captions be cute, have this be cute, and you try and sell yourself in a way. And I guess that's the salesman's thing. Anytime you're offering something, you are selling yourself. But it was more like it became at a point where it was more selling myself rather than expressing myself. And I had always enjoyed it because it was a way of expressing myself and having fun and being me. But when it wasn't being me anymore and it was just the salesman of it all, it didn't align. So I allowed it to change after the divine in my life was forcing me to see these things and to see like this isn't it. I was brought beautiful opportunities to do introspection on why are things going this way? Why am I feeling like this? Why is this? Why is this? And it's because it just wasn't meant to be like that. I wasn't meant to be. There was more. And I think the more for me was to talk and to share my love and my light with people, to be kind, to share my personality rather than my physicality. And also on that, there's just there's so much to talk about. I can get into like fitness. I can get into like how being the insta baddie affected like mental health when it came to my physical body. Like there's so many layers to it, but the whole sensuality of it all that really changed things for me was I don't I believe sensuality should be from within. I believe if you are being sensual, it should be rooted within you. I don't need to watch a video to be fulfilled with myself. I don't need to look at a picture of somebody else to fulfill myself. And I think a lot of that content it was a high percent of trying to take the space of sensuality in somebody else's life. And it wasn't like me like being like, oh yes, let me take the space of sensuality in life. No, it wasn't that. It was just like hyper sexual energy. And it wasn't, but it was. And I don't know if that made any sense. What I'm trying to say is, I think, I guess we could do another podcast about pleasure and sensuality because I want to get into it deeper. And I think right now the words just aren't coming to me. And I think that may be a sign that we should just do a whole podcast where we start on that. But I wrote a little blog about it. You could probably find it on brittanyleanne.co where I break down like my idea on that. Because the whole root of it was it just didn't align anymore. Because when something aligns, you know it does. And it's like I said earlier, once you know, like it was so fun. But then once I started to grow within my mental feelings of sensuality, I couldn't go back to how much fun I had before because now I know what it was doing to me and how it could affect other people as well. Because I don't send hate to anybody who is into sexy content, who makes sexy content. I just know the hyper stuff, it just isn't for me anymore. And in realizing that, I realized maybe the joy of it all was from modeling. Maybe I enjoy modeling more than I thought I did. Maybe it wasn't the sensuality, maybe it was the modeling. So now when it comes to being in my divine feminine energy, I can take pictures, I can still do lingerie, I can still create beautiful albums of content, but I'm not gonna try and sell them on a buy this super sexy album and kissy emojis and stuff like that. No, like I can name it something cute and leave it at that. Like I don't have to sell a dream. I can just be me and embrace my being and say, here's some modeling pictures that I took, here's some cute pictures that I took, and post them and not be attached to the outcome in that type of way that I used to be in the past of, I need to make this person, I really need them to unlock this, let me do this. Like, no. What's meant to be will be. If they're meant to support my content, if they're meant to see these beautiful modeling pictures of me, then they'll feel it within them to do so. And if they don't, then they'll find somebody else who does align with them. And I guess that's what I was trying to say. But yeah, we had a whole lot of topics in this first podcast. I'm very grateful that you're here with me and that you listened, and we'll be back with another one. This was Bliss with Britt, the podcast. My plan is to do Bliss with Britt live, where we have this like hangout session and people can come in and ask questions and we can like break it down together. Like they bring topics, I give my bliss field approach to it, and we as a community just grow in love and light and kindness together. So yeah, we're gonna close it out now. I love you. Beauty is all around and within you. Thank you for your love, your light, and thank you for your presence. Later. That was good.